Hi, welcome back to Foundation course on Communication and Soft Skills with the agenda of learning pronunciation. Like in the earlier sessions, we have went through a series of special techniques, specific techniques to learn and enunciate the sound, not just sounds but also certain words, the way they are pronounced. And by now we all should get one thing very correctly, this particular term that I would like you all to remember each time you're looking towards mastering English and being effective at communication. This is non-phonetic as a word. So English is a non-phonetic language. The way we write is not the way we pronounce. So that's something we have to really get this as a premise in our mind, where we are going ahead, each time to explore language in detail and revise, recap and work towards bettering your pronunciation. So today the part of the agenda that we have for this particular session is specifically on vowel sounds. So let me write this for you all. So I repeat, it's vowel sound. So the way it is pronounced is something like close to an animal owl. So bite your lower lip and get this correct. So it's not vowel, but it's vowel sound. So something to be there in terms of understanding and getting the word correct. So let's move on to the our very old own slide. And we will learn in detail once again about different vowel sounds, the way they are enunciated, and I'm sure by this practice once again you will learn not just the enunciation but understand the power of vowel sounds in our communication effectiveness. So let's move to the slide. So I would recommend to download this particular IPA chart from Google. So all you have to do is just type IPA in Google and you will end up seeing the similar chart, or maybe better options that can help you for self coaching, and that can also help you to really go back, revise and get these sounds as the fundamentals for your communication. So let's move to the slide and understand the set of vowel sounds. So these are your vowel sounds. So these are 20 in number in English language. So what are vowel sounds? So vowel sounds are produced by the uninterrupted flow of breathing. These sounds carry emotions and give due weight to a word. These sounds, if nice and open, can add resonance to your voice. So a vowel sound is an open sound basically. It is produced by not blocking the breathing with the lips, teeth and tongue. So it is always voiced, that is the vocal cords vibrate. The word vowel came into English from the Latin word called vocalus, which means voice. So I want your concentration here on the board right now while you are listening to this piece of information. The only thing to keep in mind is the word, it's a Latin word. So vowel is a Latin word and this means from the root word vocalis as voice. Like by now we understood one fact, that vowel sounds give emotions and expression to your speech. Go back and recall a time where you were really mesmerized by somebody's talk, somebody's speech, and you were very happy listening to this person. So that happiness and that admiration for the language was not because of somebody's presence, presentation of himself or herself, but also the magic of vowel sounds and getting the right consonant sound technique in their conversation. So in order to be there in terms of people admiring your language, people really following you while you speak, is because of the base of pronunciation, getting these sounds correct. So let's move towards the slide once again and understand why we are going in detail because vowel sound again has a challenge. The moment you stress it incorrectly, it gives you a different sound. The moment you give a long stress, it gives a different sound and different word eventually. And the right stress, the right stretch for a word is equally important. So let's all look at the slide once again to learn these sounds in detail and specific. So like we have already discussed, the colon here next to the sound implies that these are your long vowel sounds, and when there is no colon, so when you do not see two dots, that means no colon, it's a short sound, it's a reduced short sound. So once again, long sound. So let's look at the board to understand this. So looking at this board, I say the colon here means it's a long vowel sound. So when I say colon, it is like two dots, and I write this as long vowel sound. And when it is a short E, it is a short sound. It is not stressed and stretched the way the long vowel sound is done. The moment I interchange the technique, while I am giving out a word which is supposedly has a short vowel sound, I am supposed to follow that as a guideline. And when I am supposed to stress on a certain part of the word, I am supposed to follow the rule book. For simple reason, the moment I interchange, I give a different word. For example, words such as this and this, I interchange the stress on the sound, I give a different word. For this particular sound, if I give a short reduced enunciation for the sound, I give out a word slip. And let's understand, there is a word in English language which has an existence for the word slip, and there is a word in English language again which exists with a long sound, which is sleep. Same, heat, hit. I interchange, I give a different word, I confuse the listener, I am being unprofessional, I am not giving the right amount of information to the people who are listening to me. So rule book is follow the technique where you are supposed to stress, you are supposed to stress in the word specifically to the sound, and where you are not supposed to stress, you are not supposed to stress as part of the guideline for the enunciation. Let's all look at the slide once again and understand the fact that this is our pronunciation Bible. We all have to get the mastery for these sounds. So looking at the vowel sounds, long vowel sounds, the sounds which has these colons are your E, and then we have words such as feel, feet, keep, knee, and words such as teeth, meter, fever. So I do not say fever, but I say fever, so it's a long vowel sound there. And then we have a short sound, followed it up with. So let's only learn the long vowel sounds first, and then we'll do a little quick recap on the short sounds as well. So the long sound again we see here is oo. So words such as to, food, fool, blue, school, moon, two, the number 2 as well, TWO, and word spoon. So let's look at the board for a moment to understand. One of the highly mispronounced set of words, well, there are a lot of words which are mispronounced, and that's also because of the environmental English. That is, we pick up language with the way people speak, and we have been inheriting it in our mind. Just because I've been listening to somebody talking, and I pick up that word without giving a second thought whether the word could be correct or it could not follow the right pronunciation rule. So the word So the word here is F-O-O-D, and then we have a second word F-O-O-T. So what could be the pronunciation? I'll give you a moment, just like about couple of moments. I really want you to go through and understand by your own analysis that what could take a long pronunciation and which word will take the short pronunciation here. So let me give you the response in case you have got the answer correct in your mind or if you have actually analyzed it. This word takes the long vowel sound, which is your oo sound, like we've just discussed. So this is your food, and then we have second word as foot, that is the short sound. The oo sound, the short oo sound is this particular word. So once again it's food, foot, foot, food, food, foot, foot, food. So let's get this correct once for all. It's food and foot. So first word takes the long sound enunciation, and the second word takes the short sound enunciation. Let's move on to the slide and understand the other long vowel sounds. So the other long vowel sound that we see is your word her as an example. So it's as the sound, this sound where the cursor is shown, and the enunciation or rather the set of words for this is her, and words such as shirt, turtle, purple, firm, term, mustard. So this particular word that I'm talking about. So yeah, this word. And the next word followed is your aw sound. So it's a long sound again. So the sound is aw, like you're awesome. Words such as dawn, frost, for, morning, brought, origin, order, raw is this word, like your aw sound. Let's look at the board for again mispronounced word which surely doesn't sound good to your ears, is this word. So the word starts with H-O-N-E-S-T. So I'll give you a moment's time. Go ahead, analyze it as to how it is pronounced, and then we'll get to the solution as to what the right pronunciation is. So once again, the word is spelled as H-O-N-E-S-T, H-O-N-E-S-T. So the word is pronounced with the aw sound. So it is as close to this word, aw. So it's honest. So it's certainly not honest, but it's honest. So aw sound with N-E-S-T as part of the pronunciation, one of the highly mispronounced word, and it doesn't really give the pleasant appeal to your ears because the word is pronounced the way it is pronounced. And we have been picking up incorrect way of getting it, producing this particular pronunciation, which is honest, being one of the incorrect pronunciation rule. So it's honest. Let's move on to the slide again. So looking at this slide, this is the word that we were talking about, honest. And then we have words such as which is again your long sound. So it's star, after, artist, this word, dark, sharp, calm, and words such as father, car, mark. So these are the words which takes your long vowel sounds. And then we'll move on to again understand, okay, we have done like E, oo, aw, and ah. So, words which are generally attached to these words are your long stretched vowel sounds. So, let us move on to these set of words that you see like two symbols together, and I am sure these two symbols have been a little confusing, and why we actually are going through this. We can understand the fact that why do I have to, we just not have to really master it, but we have to really read through to understand. When we are reading it in dictionary, or when we are understanding the rule of pronunciation, we should get little understanding about how it is enunciated. So, that is the entire rule or agenda behind learning these sounds. So, going back to the same set of words, these words that you see with two specific letters attached, they give out one particular sound, and these are called your diphthongs. So, diphthongs are your set of words which has two sounds when they give out only a single when we are enunciating it. So, this particular sound is your first sound of diphthong, which is your ear as the sound. So, words are ear, sheer, mere, clear, fear is your are the sets of examples. The next sound is your I, something like Y, I, the letter I, dry, light, eyes, shy, hide, pry. The next sound is your U sound. So, words such as pure, sure, cure are your examples. The next sound is your oi sound. So, words such as boy, coin, noise, oil, plow, point, joint and moist are the set of words which we can take or consider them as an example for this particular sound. The next sound is your U sound, because this again is one of the most reduced symbol and sound in English language, and the other sound is your U sound. So, hence it will be taken as U. So, the words are so, words such as so, no, hot, not are all these set of words. The next sound is your U sound, ow sound, which is now, and the other words that we see associated with them are your words such as cow, now, shout, all these are the words. And the next word is your I. So, again buy, die, shy are your examples here, and this last diphthong is your air. So, again a short sound with a word such as air. So, all you are supposed to do is understand it's air, care, share are all your examples associated with it. So, one recommendation, let us look at this recommendation. The recommendation that I have is, the moment you download this IPA chart from Google, all you are supposed to do is once again go through the entire set of revising the entire sound list has to be revised, recapped, and write at least 5 words associated with these sounds. This can certainly help you get your pronunciation better and be effective in your conversation ability. Okay. So, let us move to this other slide. So, this slide talks specifically about schwa. So, the inverted E that we have discussed. So this particular sound is the most important sound in English language, for simple reason being 90% of words in English language take over with this sound, either in the start of the word or the part of the word or towards the end. Schwa may be the most misunderstood sound in English. Most people have heard of schwa, but it is rare that a teacher or student knows that. For simple reason being, every vowel sound may say the schwa sound. Schwa is the most common sound in every dialect of English language. Schwa may sound like u or I, which is again short unstressed sounds in English words. Schwa occurs in the unaccented syllables and unaccented words. So words which are not given any accent or any stress is where you can actually sense the sound of schwa. Linguistically, schwa is an unaccented vowel sound. The symbol used to represent it looks like this. So I want your attention here on the board for a moment to understand this. So this is how it is represented. It's inverted E, and the name of the sound, only sound which has name or which has been given name in the entire IPA chart is your schwa sound. One of the most commonly seen and observed sound in English language, for almost 90% words. So I mean you can get the count out here. When I say 90%, it's like maximum of words in English language have schwa in it. So it's very important that I get this correct. It's one of the unstressed, unaccented sound. So words that can be surely trigger your mind when I say has different pronunciation, since we have been giving a little difficult or different pronunciation to these words. So I'll give you a moment. Please try and observe what could be the pronunciation of these two words, commonly used words in day-to-day interaction, day-to-day conversation, and almost all non-native speakers get this incorrectly, and that goes during the stages of my learning as well. Even I got it incorrectly, but post which when you learn it, and this has been part of my learning journey, so hence I got this to a level of correction. So the first word is your television. If I end up saying television, I am going by the letter, but by now we all have accepted one fact that English is not a letter language. And the second one, by the letter again, we go by, it is the word telephone, but again it does not take that as a pronunciation, your English as a language. So the first word has schwa in it in part of the pronunciation, and the second word has again schwa in it. That's why the first word is pronounced as television and the second word is pronounced as telephone. So it's television, telephone, television, telephone, telephone, television. So it's not television, it is not telephone. If I say that, then I'm going by the letter, and English is not a letter language by now. So likewise, there are a lot of words in English language which has schwa in the start of the word, schwa as part of the word, or schwa towards the end of the word. So hence, each time you see this inverted E, when you're opening a dictionary next time, when you're exploring the meaning of the word and you see the symbols next to it, that's how you're learning pronunciation. So one fact that we all have to get this up, I don't necessarily have to rely on anybody to learn pronunciation. Once I get this IPA chart, I'm equipping myself as an individual to read, learn pronunciation from dictionaries, which are standard means of guidelines to pronounce a particular word. So when I say each time pronunciation, I mean the manner or the way the word is pronounced. So that's your meaning of pronunciation. So next time when you're opening a dictionary, or rather after this session, I would really recommend just look up to certain words on internet, and you should be able to get this up to understand that the word pronunciation has a different meaning altogether. Yeah, so that is how we are supposed to go by. So looking at the slide once again, looking at the slide, we have these definitions, and the most specific details laid out for schwa, and these details are nothing but your, these details are nothing but for the meaning of schwa, and details such as one of the highly mispronounced word in a sound, and hence the words are mispronounced, words which are unaccented in symbols. So I'll give you a moment or two to go through this slide once again. So you have to just like make a note of these important pointers, and this can certainly assist you to learn and better your enunciation. Okay, so I'll give you a moment's time to make a note of this. So let's look at the last pointer. Linguistically, schwa is an unaccented vowel sound. The symbol used to represent it looks like the inverted E. When you're looking up to the word next time in dictionary, you're supposed to look up to this. In case you find an inverted E, you're supposed to unstress the entire sound and the word. For example, words such as America, so it starts with an A and hence it has schwa in the start of the word. So the lot of words which starts with A has schwa in it, and the moment I say schwa, they are unstressed and it is unaccented. So that's why I don't give the pronunciation for this word. Let's all look at the board once again. Word which starts with the A, for that matter most of the words which starts with A has schwa as the start of the pronunciation, start of the word, and it is important for us to understand it is unstressed. This is not stressed or this is not accented, and hence this word is pronounced as America with a very short but not a stretched what you say sound to this word. We do not pronounce this word as Amrika, like in many cases we have heard people saying it, and we ourselves might have pronounced this word, but America is not pronounced as America, but it's America. So that is because of the short sound of a short sound. So that is the schwa in the start of the letter of the word. So let's move on to understand a few more examples in the slide. So examples of schwa spelling, words such as again, so it's again, vitamin or vitamin, so both are accepted because one being the US pronunciation. Then we have petition, word celebrate, word president, word experiment, word occur, word condition, and followed with last two examples, campus and support. So I do not say campus because it has a U in it, but it takes the schwa enunciation, schwa sound, and hence it is reduced to campus. And then we do not use U as part of the pronunciation, and hence the word is pronounced as support with a very subtle sound, and we do not say that as support because of U. So let's look at certain other words, or let's look at this tip of the day. Always remember this tip. Pronounce each word as it is transcribed. So I'll give you more detailed explanation about the word transcribed, and write each word the way it is spelled. English is not a phonetic language, so we often do not say a word the same way it is being spelled. So English is a non-phonetic language. The way we pronounce the word is not the way we write the word. So when you are in the process of mastering the language, we all have this aspiration to do so. All you're supposed to do is remember one fact. The fact is, try to get these sounds up. Try to get the transcription of few specific words. Maybe you can just browse through in the internet, or maybe you can just pick up random common words that you have been mispronouncing it, or you're doubtful about your pronunciation out there. all you're supposed to do is, get it up in terms of listing down 10 words at least and transcribing it. So let me explain you this word in detail, what transcription means. So I write this word, transcript. So when I say transcript, all I mean is the symbols and the words. So when I pick up a word as car, I write it with a transcription, something like this. So it's a k sound with a long vowel sound is a, with again our consonant sound is ra. So the word which is transcribed here is car. So all you have to do is transcribe it along with the set of words that you have chosen and selected. So this brings mostly towards the end of our IPA chart journey, and I really would appreciate if you guys would go back, revise, recap and get these all 44 sounds right in your mind. So by this I do not mean you to like really master everything about what we have learned, but bits and pieces you should really get one thing out of these 4 sessions that we completed by now on IPA chart is getting the familiarity of the sounds. Next time when you look at these sounds, you should be in a position to really get it in the terms of the enunciation, getting the sound correct, and try and see if you can actually transcribe it and practice, put that in practice, start observing. Right now your observation should start each time you're listening to English, that is somebody speaking, or if you're watching a news channel or reading, not really reading, but reading can certainly help you to get few examples out handy. But when you're next time listening to somebody in a television or on YouTube or somewhere, start analyzing the sounds and start aligning these sounds to a mental setup of IPA, and this can certainly assist you to move towards the journey of being good or better at pronunciation. So this brings towards the end of IPA chart journey once again. So we would not really go back extensively on IPA chart in the next consecutive sessions, but we will certainly be doing a different topic which is part of pronunciation, equally important again. So I would suggest if you guys can be tuned in to take this particular set of learning forward for the next important topic, which is word stress or syllable stress. So let's do a quick recap for today. So in this particular session, the present session, we completed the entire enunciation or learning technique or examples that we have laid out for vowel sounds in specific. Like vowel sounds add emotion, expression to the conversation. So each time when you are really admiring somebody while they speak or they talk, it's only because of the magic of vowel sounds. So get this up. And revision needed, recap needed for simple reason. These are the sounds which has to be given that right amount of stress. Schwa, we have spoken extensively, so I would really suggest go back and do a little quick revision on schwa and get the examples up. And to conclude, vowel sounds are your free flowing sounds. They are always voiced sounds, and there is no obstruction of air while you are enunciating this set of vowel sounds. So this brings to the end, and thank you for watching. We would really appreciate if you have any questions or concerns, do connect with us and we will be happy to assist you on this. Thank you.